Ever since Apple allowed emulators on iOS, I've been fully back in my retro era, and honestly it's been really fun. But this little thing right here makes the whole experience feel like a proper handheld.
This is the GameSir Pocket Taco. It's ultra lightweight, works with Android and iOS, plus you get around 10 hours of battery life.
And that all sounds great on paper, but how do you actually use it? Before anything else, let me just clear something up. This doesn't come with games. No built-in emulator, no store, just a controller. So you'll need to install your own emulator app. I've mainly been using Manic and a couple others, but as long as the games you're playing supports the standard controller inputs, you're good. In terms of actually using it, it's super simple. You open it up, it auto connects and turns on, close it and it disconnects, which is super useful since it conserves battery. And just a side note, it doesn't necessarily need to be in Taco format to play. You can use it like a standard controller. And that's lovely, but let's see how it actually feels to live with. First off, it's way better than the generic touch controls you typically get on emulators. Retro games actually feel how they're supposed to now, and that alone changes the whole experience. The buttons aren't anything fancy. They're not super clicky or loud, but they're responsive. However, there was one moment in time where I connected it and I did feel significant input delay, but it never happened again. The Taco is quite thin, and initially I was very worried about comfort, but after using it for a while, I haven't had any issues, even for longer sessions. And what really surprised me was the fact that this device can fit on pretty much any phone. Although you might need to adjust the view of the emulator screen, since with smaller phones it tends to obstruct the view of the game, but that's just a quick setting change in whichever emulator app you use. Because it's such a simplistic controller, it's very battery efficient and very rarely needs charging, but when it does, it only takes about 2 hours. And yeah, that whole section sounds great and it sounds really good for £30, but it's not for everyone. This is built for retro D-pad style games, platformers, RPGs, older Nintendo style titles is where this device shines. It isn't for your COD mobiles, Genshin Impacts, and heavy frame rate FPS gaming. And I'm not just saying that because it doesn't fit the aesthetic. There's no analog sticks here. So anything which relies on circular or precise movement just isn't gonna feel right. And in my testing, about 95% of the retro games I tested were compatible. The few that weren't were games that heavily relied on joystick movement. You can remap the buttons and a few other things if you don't like the stock setup, but it won't change the fact that you don't have sticks. Right now, it feels really secure. There's no wobble, no shifting while you're gaming, and because of the Taco design, your hands are naturally pressing against it, so it's not going anywhere. The whole build does feel quite plasticky, but honestly, that does fit in with the retro vibe. The only thing I am worried about is the spring. It's still tight right now.
That's what she said.
And I haven't seen any issues. But that's the part of the design I want to see hold up long term. Since if that spring ever loosens, that's when we will start seeing phones sliding about, especially if you're not holding it properly, it'll very easily make your phone slip off. Again, this isn't something that's happening right now, but it could, so definitely be aware of it. So where does that leave us? For around £30, I think it's really solid and perfect if you're into retro games and looking for something small, simple and easy that you can throw into your pocket to elevate your gaming experience. I would just make sure to keep an eye out for the spring, but overall, it's really good. Now, if you want to see another retro gaming system, check this video out over here. And yeah, it's been your boy Mr. K. Like, subscribe, support the channel, and check you out in the next one.